If you could only buy one ETF this year, just one, make sure it's the right one. Because in a sea of over 12,000 ETFs globally, picking the wrong one could cost you years of returns, passive income, and long-term growth. But choosing the right one, that could change your financial future forever. That's why today we're cutting through the noise. This isn't just a list of ETFs, this is a complete breakdown of the 5 most powerful ETF investing strategies, each paired with a standout ETF and one honorable mention that's earned its place in the spotlight. Whether you're looking for broad diversification, explosive growth, consistent dividend income, monthly cash flow, or ultra-high yield returns, we've got you covered. And remember, after we dive into these strategies and ETFs, you'll know exactly where to put your money depending on your goals and risk tolerance. So stay tuned until the end, because the last ETF in this list is one of the most aggressive, yet potentially explosive plays available in the market right now. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to MoneyQuest Broker. We're on a mission to help you grow smarter, invest stronger, and retire richer. Let's get started. Let's begin with the first strategy, broad market investing. If you're looking for simplicity, reliability, and long-term growth, this is where you start. And the king of this strategy is VOO, the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. This ETF gives you exposure to the 500 largest companies in the U.S. economy. We're talking about tech giants like Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia, as well as financial behemoths like JP Chase and communication leaders like Meta and Alphabet. VOO gives you a bit of everything. Tech, healthcare, consumer goods, financials, it's all in there. It's diversified, low cost, and incredibly liquid. With an expense ratio of just 0.03%, a dividend yield of about 1.3%, and an annualized return of over 15% in the last 5 years, VOO has proven to be a long-term wealth-building machine. But if you want even more diversification beyond U.S. borders, consider VT, Vanguard's Total World Stock ETF. This ETF gives you access to both U.S. and international equities, offering complete global exposure in one single investment. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned investor, these two ETFs, VOO and VT, can anchor your portfolio with long-term stability and growth. Strategy number 2, growth investing. If your goal is to maximize capital appreciation and you're willing to stomach some volatility, then growth ETFs are your best friend. And at the top of that list is SCHG, the Schwab US Large Cap Growth ETF. This ETF focuses on high-quality, high-growth companies. It holds about 229 stocks, with a heavy emphasis on technology and communication services. You're investing in leaders like Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Nvidia, and Broadcom, all the names driving innovation today. SCHG has an ultra-low expense ratio of just 0.04% and a modest dividend yield around 0.4%. But the real story is the performance, over 17% average annual return in the past 5 years and more than 15% over the past decade. It's a pure growth play and one of the most consistent growth ETFs on the market. But if you want to chase momentum specifically, look into SPMO, the Invesco S&P 500 Momentum ETF. This ETF tilts toward the fastest-moving stocks within the S&P 500. Using a rules-based strategy to rotate into leaders in any sector. SPMO can be more aggressive and less predictable, but for tactical investors, it can provide outsized returns when the trend is in your favor. Our third strategy is all about dividend growth investing. For those who want a balance of income and growth, look no further than DGRO, the iShares Core Dividend Growth ETF. This ETF invests in companies with a consistent history of increasing their dividends. With over 400 holdings, its top sectors include financials, technology, healthcare, and consumer staples. You'll find strong names like Microsoft, JP Chase, Johnson & Johnson, and Apple in this fund. DGRO has a starting yield of around 2.2%, a very reasonable expense ratio of 0.08%, and annual returns of 16% over the last 5 years and 11% over the last 10. But most importantly, those dividends keep compounding year after year. The honorable mention in this category is SCHD, the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF. Many investors swear by it, and for good reason. It has a slightly higher starting yield, similarly low fees, and focuses on high-quality companies with strong dividend histories and financials. Both DGRO and SCHD are exceptional picks for building long-term tax-efficient dividend-paying portfolios. Next up is Strategy 4 Covered Call Income Investing. If you're someone who loves income and wants to be paid every month, this strategy is for you. And the ETF that leads this category is QQQI, the NEOS Nasdaq 100 High Income ETF. What makes QQQI unique is that it combines the power of the Nasdaq 100, which includes companies like Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, and Microsoft, with an options overlay strategy. NEOS writes covered calls on the entire index, generating monthly income while still offering growth potential from the underlying stocks. The yield? Nearly 14% annually distributed monthly. It also boasts solid tax efficiency and a reasonable expense ratio of 0.68%, for an actively managed options strategy. This ETF was even awarded Best Active ETF of the Year for its innovation and results. But don't sleep on the honorable mention here, TESPI, the T-Rex 0 DTES and P500 Covered Call ETF. TESPI is a unique play that uses zero-day to expiration options to generate fast-moving high-frequency income. It's a newer strategy but growing rapidly in popularity for aggressive income investors. Both of these ETFs are designed to turn your portfolio into a monthly paycheck machine, perfect for retirees or those seeking consistent cash flow. And now for the final strategy and the most aggressive of them all, ultra-high income yield investing. This one's not for the faint of heart, but if you're chasing the highest yields possible and are comfortable with risk and volatility, you'll want to look at MSTRI, also known as MISTI, the YieldMax Mester Option Income Strategy ETF. MISTI is an income-focused ETF that writes covered calls on MicroStrategy, MSTR, a stock heavily correlated to Bitcoin. That means this fund not only captures high volatility, it turns it into massive monthly payouts. We're talking distribution rates north of 100% on an annualized basis. Yes, you heard that right. Of course, with this kind of yield comes risk. Income can be highly volatile, performance is tied to the price movement of a single stock, and the expense ratio is high at 0.99%. But for high-risk, high-reward investors, this ETF is a rocket with serious upside. The honorable mention, ULTI, the YieldMax Ultra Option Income Strategy, ETF. ULTI takes a more diversified approach with similar ultra-high income objectives, still focused on derivatives and options overlays, but spreading risk across multiple names. Both MISTI and ULTI are designed for investors seeking explosive monthly income, but they come with extreme volatility. Know your risk tolerance before diving in. So now the big question, if you could only buy one ETF this year, which one should it be? For most investors, it's hard to beat the consistent performance, simplicity, and long-term growth of VOO, the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. It's diversified, low-cost, backed by America's largest companies, and delivers both capital appreciation and passive income. It's a foundational piece in any portfolio. But the truth is, your ideal ETF depends on your personal goals, whether that's growth, income, or a mix of both. So think about what you're investing for. Are you chasing long-term wealth, building up dividend income, or trying to generate monthly cash flow? The answer will guide you to the right ETF from this list. And if this helped clear the fog around ETF investing, make sure to subscribe to MoneyQuest Broker for more breakdowns, smarter investing strategies, and the best tools to build your financial future. Your path to financial freedom starts with one smart decision. Make that decision today and keep building from there.